Hello everyone. Today, we're going to talk about 3 shocking news from the world of Formula One that you need to know. Mercedes has made a bold decision by signing Andrea Kimi Antonelli to replace Lewis Hamilton for the 2025 season. However, this move has sparked controversy, especially from former F1 world champion Jacques Villeneuve, who believes the decision was made too hastily. According to Villeneuve, Antonelli has yet to prove himself in Formula 2, and many questions remain about his ability to perform at the highest level. At just 18 years old, Antonelli will be the youngest driver on the F1 grid in 2025 and has a chance to break Max Verstappen's record as the youngest race winner if he triumphs in one of the first 3 races. However, Villeneuve doubts whether Antonelli is truly ready for this immense pressure. His performances in F2 were underwhelming, and it's possible that the pressure of securing an early F1 seat affected him. On the other hand, there's also a possibility that his driving style is better suited to F1 cars rather than F2 machinery, something that will only become clear once he starts racing. A major question is how Antonelli will compare to George Russell at Mercedes. If their driving styles differ significantly, it could create challenges for the team in developing a car that suits both drivers. Russell already has years of F1 experience, whereas Antonelli still has everything to prove. If Antonelli struggles to adapt or if there is a significant performance gap between the two, Mercedes could face serious difficulties in the championship battle. Villeneuve also questioned Toto Wolff's objectivity in making this decision. Antonelli has been part of Mercedes' junior program since 2018, and Wolff has supported him since he was 12 years old, even financing his karting career. According to Villeneuve, such a long-standing relationship might have influenced Wolff's judgment, making him more convinced about Antonelli's potential rather than evaluating his actual results. This isn't the first time a top team has gambled on a young driver, but in Antonelli's case, Mercedes seems to have decided he will succeed even before he has proven himself on track. On the other hand, there's an argument that Mercedes needed a major shake-up after Hamilton's departure. They might see Antonelli as a long-term project, similar to how Red Bull handled Verstappen. However, the key difference is that Verstappen had already demonstrated exceptional performances in F3 and immediately impressed in F1. In contrast, Antonelli's F2 season was far from dominant, raising concerns about whether he is truly ready. If Antonelli fails to meet expectations, Mercedes could face backlash for passing on a more experienced driver like Carlos Sainz. But if Antonelli proves to be an outstanding talent, this could go down as one of Mercedes' best decisions in history. Ultimately, Antonelli's success in F1 will depend on how quickly he adapts and how well he handles the enormous pressure on his shoulders. Right now, everything is uncertain, and the only way to find answers is to see how he performs on track. Will he live up to the hype and become F1's next superstar? Or has Mercedes taken too big of a risk? What do you think? Helmut Marko's recent comments about Lewis Hamilton's pace compared to Charles Leclerc during preseason testing in Bahrain have sparked debate. According to Marko, Hamilton was not quite on Leclerc's level, as the Monegasque driver appeared significantly faster throughout the test. While this claim may seem like a critique of Hamilton, it's important to break down the context before drawing conclusions. First, Leclerc's advantage in testing was expected. He has been with Ferrari since 2019, knows how the team operates, and understands the car's characteristics better than Hamilton, who is still adjusting after spending over a decade at Mercedes. Testing is not just about speed, it's about gathering data, adapting to new systems, and refining performance. Hamilton's inability to complete a race simulation due to an anomaly in the data means we didn't see his full potential over long runs. However, Marko's comments highlight a valid concern: Hamilton's qualifying form. In 2024, he was outqualified by George Russell over the season, something that hadn't happened to him since 2014 against Nico Rosberg. Now, at Ferrari, he's paired with one of the best qualifiers on the grid. Leclerc's raw speed in one-lap situations is well known, and if Hamilton struggles in qualifying again, he could frequently find himself starting behind his teammate. In a season where competition at the front is expected to be extremely close, even a 3 or 4 tenths gap in qualifying could mean dropping multiple positions on the grid. That being said, writing Hamilton off based on testing alone is premature. He has always been a driver who thrives under real race conditions rather than setting headline-grabbing times in preseason. While he may not have adapted to the Ferrari car as quickly as Leclerc, history shows that when given the right environment and car setup, Hamilton's performance can improve dramatically. Moreover, while qualifying is crucial, his racecraft and ability to manage tires over a Grand Prix distance are among the best in F1 history. Another aspect to consider is Ferrari's development approach. If Hamilton and Leclerc have different driving styles, Ferrari will need to balance car upgrades to suit both. Mercedes faced this challenge when Russell joined and had to shift their focus to accommodate both drivers' preferences. If Ferrari leans too much toward Leclerc's feedback, Hamilton might struggle to extract the best from the car. On the other hand, if Ferrari listens equally to Hamilton, his vast experience in title-winning battles could give them an edge in crucial moments. Ultimately, Hamilton's true performance level will only become clear once the season begins. Testing provides insights, but it doesn't define a driver's potential. While Leclerc's familiarity with Ferrari has given him an early edge, the dynamic could shift once Hamilton fully settles in. If he can close the qualifying gap and maximize his race day strengths, he could still be a formidable force in the championship battle. However, if his struggles in one-lap pace continue, it could create an uphill battle not just against rivals but also against his own teammate. The first few races will be key in determining whether Ferrari has made the right decision in pairing these two drivers. Will Hamilton adapt quickly and challenge Leclerc as an equal? Or will Leclerc establish himself as the clear team leader? The pressure is on, and the answers will start unfolding in Australia. FIA President Mohammed bin Sulayem recently proposed the idea of bringing back V10 engines to Formula One. This immediately caught the attention of fans who miss the iconic sound of these engines. Even Max Verstappen welcomed the idea. But is it realistic? And what impact would it have on the future of F1? V10 engines were last used in F1 in 2005 before they were replaced by V8s and later by the current V6 hybrid engines. Back then, V10s were known for their powerful sound and simpler mechanics compared to modern hybrid technology. However, the switch to hybrid engines wasn't without reason. F1 aimed to become more efficient, environmentally friendly, and aligned with the automotive industry. In 2026, F1 will introduce a new generation of hybrid engines using fully synthetic fuels and increased electrical power. Max Verstappen, known for being vocal about technical regulations, said bringing back V10s is a great idea. However, he disagreed with how bin Sulayem announced it publicly. According to Verstappen, issues like this should be discussed internally first rather than being presented to the media, as it can lead to unnecessary speculation and debate. Besides Verstappen, Red Bull boss Christian Horner also found the idea interesting. However, there are major challenges to consider. One of them is the massive investment teams and manufacturers have already made in hybrid technology. Audi, for example, is preparing to enter F1 in 2026 with its hybrid power unit. Meanwhile, Cadillac, which initially partnered with Ferrari, plans to develop its own engine by 2028. If F1 were to change regulations back to V10s, all these investments could go to waste, which manufacturers would strongly oppose. There's also the environmental factor. F1 is committed to becoming carbon neutral, and hybrid engines are seen as more aligned with global trends in the automotive industry. Bin Sulayem did mention that V10s could run on sustainable fuel, but another challenge would be reducing emissions without sacrificing performance or increasing costs. If F1 truly wants to bring back V10s, the best way might not be in the main regulations but through special events or another racing category like Formula 2. This could be a compromise that allows fans to enjoy the legendary V10 sound without disrupting F1's technical direction. In the end, while this idea is exciting and supported by some key figures in F1, the reality behind the scenes suggests that bringing back V10s would be extremely difficult. The sport has invested heavily in hybrid and electrification technology, and returning to conventional engines might be seen as a step backward. So, is this idea just nostalgia that's impossible to achieve? Or should F1 be more open to reconsidering classic engines? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.